Welcome to another episode of the Visser Podcast. Today, we're going to discuss weight loss for adults and quick and dirty. So I'm not going to go through the real specific stuff. I've done that, and I'll do that in further episodes. But I really want to get to you what are the basics. And I might go short on certain things. Forgive me. I might generalize a little bit. Forgive me. But this is for people that really are just inundated with too much information and are frozen by it. And so they're like, I don't know where to start. I don't know how to start. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through it, the bullet points, all right? How to get you started. Then the next episode, I'll have someone that lost a lot of weight, and we're going to go through seriously a lot of weight. This person should have had gastric bypass in medical terms, if you look at him, but he did it on his own. So this is like, borderline heroic. So I really want to go through what he did, his mindset and everything else that he had to go through to accomplish it. And I've talked about mindset. I've talked about goal setting. I talked about how do we pivot and use our brain to help us through this process and not fight the whole way. So I'm not going to go through that this time. I'm really going to go through the minimum that you need to know to get started and to get on your weight loss journey. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to start with doing a complete lab test with complete hormonal panel, and also thyroid panel. So we need to look at that all that is on par, okay? If it is not, you might need hormonal replacement therapy. If you're premenopausal, you definitely need hormonal replacement therapy. And I'll go through that in another episode. I know some people will go, oh no, I don't want to do that. Guess what? You're gonna be struggling uphill from here on in. So we need to know that is correct. We need to know that your thyroid is functioning optimally. If not, you need supplements to do that. And I have a whole episode on thyroid and thyroid health. We need to have that corrected just to start, because if you start with any of that not being in the proper values, it's an uphill battle that you will lose in the end. Okay, so let's start there. Secondly, start weighing yourself in the morning after peeing, going to the bathroom, naked in your bathroom, every morning, same time. Know that, because you have to measure, know that your weight will fluctuate day to day, but weekly it should be trickling down. Okay, that's what we want to see. Slow. The slow wins the game. All right, so slow decline. Give yourself 6 months to do this, minimally, okay? To even up to a year to get to your goal, to your weight goal. Okay. First off, on the nutrition side, I need you to cut all sugar. No sugar in your coffee, no sugar in your tea, no sugared beverages, out. Coca-Cola, Sprite, whatever, out. Fruit juices, out. No bueno, okay? Fructose is also bad. So all that stuff's got to go. Highly processed foods, chips, all that stuff, got to go from your diet. That's one. Clean it up. Boom, you know how to clean it up. Clean it up. I need you, and these are 9. Of course, I like 9, so you're going to get 9. All right, we're at 4. I want you to reduce your feeding window, so when you eat, to 7 hours, and that could be morning to up whenever you start eating in the day. My example, I start eating at 2 p.m. So that's my start of my feeding window. I do 7 hours. Sometimes for business, whatever, we need to have breakfast with people, then that's when my 7 hours starts. Okay, so you can move the 7 hours up and down. But I want you to do 7 hours feeding window. In that 7 hours, I want you to have 3 times that food is going in, minimally. So I need you to really, because I want protein synthesis to be optimized. I don't want you to lose muscle mass. As we know, muscle mass gets lost when we get older. That is not what I want you to do. So I don't want you to do any elongated fasts, week-long fasts, anything like that. I don't want you to do that, because you're going to lose muscle mass. And I have to weigh out the benefits and the non-benefits. And really, muscle mass is the biggest benefit you can get for longevity. So I need you to keep the muscle mass, so that's why I'm doing this 7 hours. Each time, and this is on the longevity 9, each time you eat, I want you to eat to 80% fullness, not 100%, 80%. Stop before you're full. 15 minutes later, you're gonna feel full, because that's the time it takes for your stomach to signal your brain, hey, we're at the stretch level, okay, where we need to be. So in 15 minutes after you stopped eating and you're still a little hungry, you're gonna feel nicely full, not over full like you do every day. Nicely full. Okay, that's the other one. Feeling hungry is something you got to get used to. It's good for you. It's called mimetic stress. We're giving ourselves a little bit of stress. We're giving our organism a bit of perceived stress, right? Because this is where our body functions the best, when it has this perceived stress. You're gonna eat, you're not gonna starve, nothing's gonna happen, but you need that feeling again, okay? Being fat all day, not good, all right? Feeling full all day, absolutely not good. I don't want that be part of your life anymore. If you're feeling full all day, you're doing it wrong. I need to have you hungry at certain times. In your meals, this is what I want you to exclude. I want you to exclude rice, potatoes, bread, pasta. Okay? Exclude them for now. And you're gonna say, I need carbs, yeah, carbs. You're gonna get them from vegetables, legumes, you're gonna get it from beans, you're gonna get it from different other sources, but not from those 4. All right, so exclude those. Get used to it. And trust me, it's no biggie. Okay, you're gonna increase your protein intake. So that's gonna give you satiety. It's gonna maximize your protein synthesis. It's gonna be good for you. And it's gonna give you a feeling of fullness longer. When you're eating carbs, you're gonna stay hungry. And there's a whole mechanism behind it, but you're gonna stay hungry, you're gonna want more carbs, and you're gonna wanna eat more. With protein, the great thing about protein is you're gonna start feeling full longer, okay? With that said, we're trying to basically drop the calories you take every day, because that's what needs to happen, without you really feeling it. Okay, without you feeling that it's impossible. This is completely possible. I've done it myself. What does your protein intake need to look like? Quick and dirty, super dirty, 1-to-1. Protein to carbs needs to be 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, that's super dirty, super quick, but for this, that's what I'm gonna do. And what I want you to, which means you got to up your protein. Your protein intake should be at 1.6 grams to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of ideal body weight. Ideal, where you want to get, not where you are. Okay, so that's that measurement you should use. All right, so when we're looking at our meals, right? We got 3 meals in the 7 hours. And the middle meal could be like a protein shake. I recommend whey protein. But there's also plant-based proteins that you can do. Potato is very good as a protein source, as far as powder protein that you make a shake with and stuff. Remember that if you're a vegetarian, you're still gonna have to really focus on upping your protein, because you're never gonna get enough protein on a vegetarian diet or vegan. Get it? Supplement, and there's a list of supplements that you need to be taking if you're on that diet, which I've discussed in the previous nutrition episode. I'm not gonna go through it this time. Okay, we need to up the protein intake, especially with your first meal, because you need to kickstart your anabolic cycle, all right? So your protein needs to be up. We see that it's 2.5 grams of leucine that basically starts the protein synthesis, the anabolic cycle. So it's not like it goes up. No, at 2.5 grams, that's when it kick starts. That's when it turns on the engine, okay? If you're doing less than that, it's not gonna turn on. So we need that protein first meal. Don't do the don't do the usual steel oats and all that stuff. No good. Okay, don't do steel oats. I want eggs in there. I want good avocado if you want. I want chicken. I want just protein in there, and then vegetables. All right, and the fats, and you need fats, will come from avocado, olive oil, a handful of nuts. Not too much. Don't go crazy on the nuts. The Brazil nuts are fabulous if you want to really go a little more specific. And then fatty fish, okay, like salmon. And one of the things, I think one of the things you can do if you're vegan, if you don't mind, become pesco vegan. It's healthier. It's less work. Anyway, but if you're vegan, you can do it. You just need to do a little more work. You need a little more research. Okay. So what is our mission here? We need to drop the calorie intake. Calorie in, calorie out. Yeah, I know, it's different, but we need to drop it. All right? We need to drop it. Because, listen, when the body exceeds, and what we're doing, the reason we're gaining weight and we're gaining fat is because we exceed our body's needs. All right? And when we do that, certain things happen. One, we get to a point where we exceed fat storage. And it wreaks havoc on our insulin and glucose in the bloodstream. Okay, so right there, I got a whole episode on that. We got two sinks for glucose, two places where glucose can disappear. That's our muscle. If you don't have enough muscle, it's not going to disappear, and our liver a little bit. But if you're exceeding what you can store in your fat cells, in your muscles, everything, it's going to spill over. Okay, it's going to spill over in the liver, it's going to spill over in the organs, and you're going to have visceral fat. Visceral fat is that internal fat that wreaks havoc. It's the most dangerous fat. It's what sets us up to get cardiac arrest, strokes, you name it, diabetes, on and on, right? So visceral fat is the big enemy. It's the fat you don't see. It's internal, all right? So this is what happens when we keep overfeeding, when we keep putting in more than our body needs. So we need to drop it. Okay, your mitochondria are in your cells. This is what gives us ATP, what gives us the energy. These are the motors of our cells, the motor of our body, of our being, right? When these get overfed, to put it in a real layman's term, they get overloaded, they start leaking ROS. ROS is reactive oxygen species. Reactive oxygen species will turn into oxidative stress. All right? So the mitochondria starts leaking this into our body. ROS does damage to our protein, cellular protein, and this is intracellular. This is happening intracellular. This is happening in our cells, right? Because the mitochondria is in our cells. So the ROS starts damaging the protein, starts damaging our lipids, lipid cells, and starts damaging our DNA. So think about it. This is what's happening internally. How do you think you could be healthy? You can't. It's impossible. So we need to drop this. Okay, oxidative stress increases internal inflammation, so inflammation in your body. And we know inflammation was the precursor to causing hardening of the arteries, buildup of plaque in the arteries, in the heart, every havoc, okay? It's all your chronic diseases, diabetes, heart disease, strokes, you name it, this is it. Increasing inflammation is bad, and it starts with ROS, goes to oxidative stress and the inflammation in the body. Everywhere. This is why you need to lose your weight. It's not just to look good, but it's to do more than die slowly. I need you to thrive, right? So you need to do this. You need to lose this weight. This is serious stuff. With weight loss, you will see amazing results in everything. Just weight loss. That's it. So we need to do this. And this is the best way I know how to do it. When we're on this and you're following this and you're starting to do this, the one thing I want you to do, if you have a complete sedentary lifestyle, I want you to start walking. And that means walking 1 hour a day, could be on a treadmill, steady state, meaning you're not changing your rate, your speed, nothing. And I want you in zone 2. Zone 2 is you're walking to where you're breathing, a little bit heavy, but you can still hold a conversation. You're pushing it, but you're not pushing it really, okay? That's the level I want you at for an hour, steady. Not up and down, not doing hits, not doing anything, not doing junk cardio, which is zone 3 and zone 4. That's junk cardio. I don't want you doing that, all right? I want you really, because at zone 2, we are doing a couple of things. We are burning fat. This is the fat burning zone, okay? Zone 2. Zone 3 is not, okay? It starts diminishing. You go into sugars. The other thing is you're optimizing your mitochondria and you're increasing your mitochondria. And we know this is where if we have more mitochondria, we can process more. All right? So this is your basic stuff. This is 3 weeks in. After 3 to 4 weeks of this walking, I want you to start resistance exercising, meaning training with weights. Yes, with weights, women, men, doesn't matter your age. Train with weights, get a trainer, start doing it 3 times a week, 1 hour. All right? Now, if you're already at that level, if you're already, if you're already training with weights and you're at a level, then up one thing. Twice a week, I want you to do sprints. Sprints, all out sprints, uphill. It could be, and I'm talking here about 20-second full-on sprint where your heart's basically coming out of your chest. And that's zone 5. And I want you to do that 6 times with a rest of 3 minutes in between. All right, so this is key because this will target real specifically, and I have a whole episode on this, your visceral fat, the dangerous fat. It'll start eating up that visceral fat, that internal fat that you cannot see. All right, sprinting is the most effective tool to decreasing visceral fat, which is, as we know, the most dangerous fat you have. All right, and this is your basic package. This is where I want you to start. After this, we go on. We can go on and do real specific stuff and add more things and add more complexions to it and really look at your diet and go specifically in your diet once we have you at a good weight. But for specific weight loss, you need to drop your weight and you need to drop it and let someone else look at you because you need to really be real about what you need to drop. And most people really believe that they need to drop about half of what they actually should drop. Okay, so if you're at 10 kilos, you probably should drop 20. All right, so let someone else look at it. You can, if you want, you can do a DEXA scan and look at your muscle to fat ratio and see where you're at. We want your fat ratio below 15% and above 10, in that range. That's optimum. So I want you to move towards that, but take it a step at a time. Take your time with this. Put in a 6-month to a year plan, depending on how much you want to lose. And don't do it fast. Fast gone is fast back. Don't do that, okay? Take it slow. Get used to this. Don't be afraid of the 7-hour feeding window. It is easy. You will do it. It'll take a week, it'll take maybe a little more, and it's mostly your brain going, oh my God, I can't believe I can't eat for whatever hours and I only have 7 hours to eat. Don't do that. Don't worry about that. Also, remember, don't overfeed yourself in those 7 hours. Don't pig out, okay? Really focus on keeping it to 80%. Stop before you're full on every meal. And then have your in-between meal as a good protein bar, no sugar. A good protein shake could be in the middle if it's too much to put in that much food. And you'll be on your way. And these are the basic rules. Man, this is as basic as I can get, as simple and general as I can get. From here on out, it gets complex and it gets much more specific. But this is really for the people that are just like, man, just give me the basic information because I'm just getting lost in all these diets. I'm getting lost in all these supplements and things I need to do and how I need to do. This is it, and this will work guaranteed. Okay, so next week, what we're gonna be doing is I'm gonna have someone here. He's a Turkish businessman who's lost an amazing amount of weight. And we're gonna go through his journey so you can really see, because I've lost weight. I've lost 10 kilos since I decided to get real trim. I wanted to see my six-pack. At 58, seeing a six-pack is pretty cool. I just wanted to get down, and I did 10, but this guy did way more. And so I never underestimate the effort it takes for people that have been obese, morbid obese in their lives, to lose the weight. It is a colossal undertaking. And yes, you can go on Ozempic, you can go on Wegovy, you can go on Moderna and do it pharmacologically. But the problem is you're going to lose a lot of muscle mass, and you're still going to have to train yourself to eat differently. You're still going to have to be able to do it, because you don't want to be on this stuff permanently for the rest of your life. You don't, okay? This is the way. And because this is the way, you'll be able to maintain it lifelong, okay? Lifelong you can maintain this. And once you get to your weight, once you get to feeling fabulous, once you get to, this is where I want to get you, where you go, man, my life changed, all right? I know with 10 kilos, my life changed. So imagine more than that. Your life's going to change, drastically change. Every aspect of your life is going to change. And I want that for you, all right? So let's do it. Health-wise, it's going to change. You're going to see your lab work. And I want you to do lab work yearly or bi-yearly, every 6 months. Check it. When you get to your weight, check it. Do a comparison where you were when you started, okay? Everything. With your ApoB, your LDL cholesterol, everything. I want you to see the difference, okay? Your physician will be shocked at the difference. Guaranteed. I guarantee this. Okay, like I always say, help this channel grow, subscribe, share it with friends, ring the bell notification, and my promise stays. You follow me, and I'll get you to the best health you've ever known. Till next week.